Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hey, listen, I'm hoping everybody had a great time with their loved ones today. I'm hoping everybody have a great time with their loved ones today. And listen, and I hope I didn't pull you guys away, from your family. But today's topic, as we're rolling into 2026, right? I think today is a perfect opportunity to kind of go over with everybody, you know, a plan for next year. Um, every year we all get, every year in America, right? America is a wonderful place to be in. America is a wonderful place to be in, but America can also get you in a position where you go into debt real quickly, right? America can put you in a position where you go into debt real quickly if you allow it to. So today, the title for today's talk is Thanksgiving Reality Check. Thanksgiving Reality Check. Okay, we're going to talk about fixing debt. We're going to talk about building wealth, and also put how to protect your future. So again, I think today is a wonderful time to have a conversation about it, especially because today is a day that we all look at as Family Day, a day that we all come together, and start to have conversation with each other, a day that we all get to catch up with each other and get to love on each other, right? So listen, the food is gone, right? We've all eaten, our stomach is full, the food is gone. But guess what? Guess what? The bills are still here. But the bills are still here, right? If you spend more than you planned this weekend, like most people did, probably 90 plus percent of the people in the country, okay, probably spend more than they plan to, right? This live stream is not to judge you, it's to wake you up, right? It's to wake you up, okay? Tonight, I'm going to show you how to break debt habits, how to fix credit mistakes, right? How to build emergency savings, how to start investing, right? How to go about getting some form of life insurance, how to start to create a retirement income plan if you don't have any. Listen, last year, AARP, right? Last year, AARP dropped an article last year. And in that article, right, it talked about people from the age of 50 all the way to the age of 66, right? About 38 to 40% of those people in that group do not have any retirement savings, like $0 in retirement savings. And that's a problem. We talk about millions of Americans, almost 20 million people that are in that group do not have any retirement savings. Okay. And I want to go over this because we're going into 2026. And I know every year we go into a new year and we all say we have goals and we all say new year, new me. And by April, those goals go away. By April, those goals go away. Right? So listen, do me a favor, but before we get right deep into this, right? If you're watching this right now, I want you to type in what city you're currently in right now. Right? I want you to type in what city you are currently residing in right now. And one word that describes, without you going into full details, just one word that describes your financial situation right now. Right? Because I think a lot of the reason why a lot of us don't progress is we live in delusion. like we don't want to admit that the problem we are having is real. We all pretend like it's not there. So if we believe it's not there, then guess what? We don't try to seek answers. So again, if you're watching this right now, just type in the chat. The first thing I want you to type in the chat is, what city are you currently watching this live at? What city? Okay. And number two, what do you believe your financial situation is right now? Right? I hope everybody here had a moment to spend some quality time with your family. Right? And let me say this. I think moving forward, I think every time we have Thanksgiving, right? I think there has to be an aspect within the family where we spend at least an hour talking about finances, because most Thanksgiving is the same thing that we all talk about: food, what kind of drama is going on TV, what TV show we're watching. We end up playing cards. Nothing truly of any kind of progression happens outside. When we have Thanksgiving with the family, it's the same thing every single year, which is the reason why most families don't progress. But I believe that if every single year, right, if we all sit down with our family, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving, and start to talk about building something, and start to talk about doing something together, owning something together as a family, right? Especially within the Black community. And I know there's a lot of people who are watching me, who are fans of mine, who are following me, who are not African American. So I'm not excluding you guys, but I just believe that, especially in our community, this is something that we need to start to talk about a whole lot more, right? Listen, I want to say that I want to ask a question, and it's just a thought that I have in my mind, and I want, again, if you're watching, I want you to just type in and let me know what you think about this. Do you guys think we should spend 2026, next year, just 1 year, boycotting holidays that make us spend? I just want, it's just a question. 1 year, just next year, right? Do you think that we should spend 1 year to boycott a holiday that make us spend money? What holiday is that? Let me see. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, maybe 1 year of not getting Christmas gifts. I mean birthday gifts. Maybe just get a person a card. Here's why I say that. If you guys go through your calendar, and these is for the gifter, the gifter, people that gift, people that love giving, right? And I love giving, so I'm saying this because I'm one of those people, right? Just, I want you to think about how many people do you spend on every single year for birthdays alone. And I want you to calculate how much is that you spend every single year, right? So we got Valentine's Day, we got Mother's Day, we got Father's Day, we got birthdays. What else? So then we got Thanksgiving. Christmas is the biggest one of them all. If you take out receipts for this year alone and calculate how much you spend on giving, it's in the thousands. It's in the thousands, right? This country is designed to have you spend money. It's actually designed to keep you in debt if you allow it. And the one that get out of debt is the one that have an awakening, the one that have a wake-up call and say, no, not no more. Not no more. It's just a question. If you guys believe we should boycott holidays for next year, you will see how much you end up having in your bank account by the end of next year. Just off of that alone, right? A lot of the financial situation that we get in, I'm sorry to say, I hope nobody get offended, but a lot of it is self-inflicted. A lot of it is self-inflicted. Most financial pain isn't accidental. It's truly self-inflicted pain. You're not overspending because you're broke. You overspend because you didn't have a plan. You don't have a budget, so you're just swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping, right? Right? A lot of America is emotional spending. You're going through a depression. You want to go buy something to make yourself feel good. Something bad happened to you at work. You want to go spend to make yourself feel good. You was up for a position. You didn't get it. Now you're upset. Now you want to go spend to make yourself feel good. Okay? A lot of our pain is going to come from things like lifestyle creep. What is that? Okay. You were making 50 grand a year at one point. And every time you go to the grocery store, you actually have a list of what you was going to buy. You want to stay there in that list. Your income grow up dramatically now. Now you don't make a list anymore. You just go start picking stuff and start swiping and start swiping and start swiping. Right? You go from 50 grand a year to 100 grand a year. At first, you're looking at a 2,000 square feet house, reasonable house, okay, conservative home. Now you're looking at 3,500, 4,000 square feet home because now you're making 100. Lifestyle creep. At first, you were okay with that Hyundai and that Toyota and that Nissan. Now you start to make good money. Now you must have the Beamer. You must have the Benz. As a matter of fact, forget those two. Now it's the Porsche and the Maserati. Benz and Mercedes and BMW are old news now. Lifestyle creep. Okay. The next one is credit dependency. We start to get credit cards and it gives us the illusion. It gives us the illusion that we're doing well. I know people with over 200 grand worth of credit card limit on a bunch of cards combined. Right? Right? I know people that have that amount of credit card in their back pocket. That's another thing I want us to think about next year is maybe getting rid of the credit cards. Because when you take out your credit card and you read the fine print on your credit card, how much interest they're charging you, how much annual fees. A lot of these things are designed to keep you in debt. You will stay on that hamster wheel forever if you don't start to make dramatic change. This is why I wanted to have this live today. Today was a perfect time to have this live because we're going into 2026. And if you want to have a change, it has to start now. If you want to have a change, it has to start now. Next thing is lack of savings. Well, it's hard to save when you spend. I'm just sorry. The average American right now has less than $500 in the bank, and they cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. Which is crazy. The average, in America, the average American right now cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. Right? What the problem we have is we don't have a money problem, because most people in America make good money. What we have is a discipline and a structure problem. What we have is a discipline and a structure problem. I want you to type in the chat based on what you heard so far, right? Does any of this pertain to you? I'll be the first one to raise my hand. Yes, I was a credit card junkie. I was a person who went from making 50 grand a year to 100 grand a year to 150 a year to 200 grand a year to 250 a year and up. And I went from going to the grocery store when I wasn't making money and having a list with the calculator in my pocket. So I have my list and I'm going through the aisle and I'm calculating what I'm getting so I could stay within budget, to now making good money and tossing that list away. I'm just grabbing whatever I want to grab out of there, and I'm out of there. And every single time, I'm not only going over budget. Most of the time, I end up throwing food away. Wasteful. So I'll be the first one to raise my hand. Listen, this live is for, we're all in this together. This is not a seclusion where you're exclusion where you're excluding somebody and just say, oh, that's not me, I'm not like that. No, we live in America. Okay, and the data says 90% of us are in trouble. Even six-figure earners, I was reading the article. I did a live the other day about this. Okay, do you have multi six-figure earner living paycheck to paycheck? You got multi six-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck in America, right? Let me. Here's the deal. When I have these talk with you guys, I like to come with receipts, right? I like data, because data tells a story, right? In America today, America now have over $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. $1.2 trillion in credit card debt in the United States of America. Everybody is dependent on credit card, because if you're busy spending and you're not saving, when an emergency comes up, what do you have but your credit card? Now you have to spend that credit card at a 24% interest rate. Some people higher, with fees, right? The average person with the credit card owes about $7,000, and a lot of them are paying minimum payment, which means it's never getting paid up. The interest is compounding and compounding and compounding. The average credit card rate is about 22%. That's the average credit card rate. Check this out. If you owe $7,000 at 22%, you're losing over $1,500 a year in interest alone. Alone. It's meant to keep you in that hamster wheel. It's meant to keep you in that hamster wheel. Right? Minimum payments aren't payments. I'm just listen. Again, I'm gonna reiterate. This conversation is not meant to insult anybody and is not meant to make anybody feel a certain way. This is just real grown adult talk. We're having a conversation and trying to figure out a way out of it. You understand? Because if you don't talk about these things, then you can't find your way out. Okay? Minimum payments aren't payment. Just so you understand that. It just avoids you from being late, from being reported 30 days late. But it's really not a payment at all. If you truly think about it, it's a permission to stay broke. I'm just keeping it 100. You're making a minimum payment. It's just you giving yourself permission to stay broke. Because you're going to make that payment, and your next statement, you're going to look at it, and nothing has moved, and you're going to be upset. And you're going to be upset. If you're watching this, okay, if you're watching this, type your highest card balance and rate if you're comfortable with it. I don't want to put anybody out there, right? But again, we all have the same problem. We all have the same problem. Okay? Now, let me share some little hints with you guys. Come tomorrow or come Monday, some of y'all might need to call your credit card company and see if there's a way that they can lower your rate, because most people that get credit cards, they've never actually called the credit card company since they had that credit card to lower their rates. That's a hint for you guys for today, right? Let me say this. I'm going to give you guys 3 steps to fix the credit card problem right now, okay? Number 1 is stop using the card. Number 1 is stop using that card. I know it's going to be tough. I mean, we're going to dive into it today. It's going to be tough, right? Number 2 is pick one card to attack. So if you get like 10 cards, for example, like myself, and I'm using that towards me, right? If you got 10 cards, for example, okay, you want to pick one card to attack. And usually, if you want your score to start going back up dramatically, you want to take the smallest card and pay it off. If that card is $500, pay it in full, cut that card up. Then go to the next smallest card, and the next card, and the next card, and the next card, and the next card. Okay? Take one card one by one and attack it. Boom, I'm done. Cut it up. Never see that card again. I didn't say cancel the card. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it revolving, but you want to cut it up. Never use it again. Okay? And number 3 is pay something extra towards these cards every paycheck if you can. Right? Pay something extra towards these cards every paycheck if you can. Okay? So that's on the credit card side. Now, I want to talk about the part that keep a lot of people up at night, that give people anxiety. Right? And that is emergency funds. The average American, like I mentioned earlier, cannot afford something to go bad in their life. It will financially cripple them. Prime example, just last month, We had the whole government shutdown, right? And a lot of people couldn't pay their bills. In just 1 month and a half of a government shutdown, people couldn't pay their bills. They couldn't pay their mortgage. They couldn't buy groceries. They couldn't pay cell phone bill, car notes, insurance, nothing. That's a problem. Right now in America, only about 46% of Americans can survive just 3 months without income. Not 6 months, not a whole year, just 3 months without income. Only 46%, right? Right? And the rest of us are screwed. 54% are in trouble. Almost 1 in 4 Americans have zero emergency savings. Almost 1 in 4 Americans have zero emergency saving. If a $1,000 emergency sends you into debt, you are not stable. You are strictly surviving. As I'm having this talk with you guys, I want you to just reflect on yourself. And listen, I've already had a conversation with my family. I'm doing absolutely nothing financial for Christmas. Everybody getting hugs and kisses and a card. I'm sorry. Everybody getting hugs and kisses and a card. Sometimes you have to stop the bleeding the hard way. Sometimes you can't just ease into something. You got to straight attack something. Right? Emergency funds are not optional. They are a financial life jacket. Let me repeat that for you guys one more time. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Emergency funds are not optional. They are a financial life jacket. We just saw it last month with just 1 month and a half of a governmental shutdown. With just 1 month and a half of a governmental shutdown, the country was in shambles. We just saw it last month when the EBT was taken away. Is that what it's called? Snaps, right? When that was taken away, people couldn't get food in America, right? As we're going into next year, you want to sit down, whether if you're single or you have a significant other or you're married, doesn't matter. You want to sit down and figure out a way how you can start to put aside 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. You want to take a look at number one, what you're spending on that you can get rid of. Some of you guys have all the apps on your TV. You got HBO Max, you got ESPN, you got NBA TV, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got all these things, right? Right? Some of you guys have all the packages Apple have to offer, from the watch to the phone to the to the tablets, to whatever, the earphone, the glasses that you can take a picture through, like everything they have to offer, the gadgets, you have it in your house. You got to evaluate where your money is going into 2026, right? You should never have to use credit card for emergencies again. That should be the goal. That should be the goal. Okay. I'm going to transition now into talking about investing and wealth building, right? And let me just say this, because some of you guys who are watching me are just getting into the investing field, investing game, and trying to learn more about it, right? But to keep it real simple, assets pay you, liabilities charges you. I'll go into that a little bit more, but I want to say it one more time. Your assets is going to pay you. Your liability charges you. As we're wrapping up Thanksgiving, what's tomorrow? Black Friday. People budget for Black Friday, but they don't budget for retirement. I don't understand that. Every year Black Friday comes around, and it's almost like you feel as though like you have to buy something. It's like a how can I put this? It's like an itch. It's like an itch inside of you that you have to go buy. Just because they advertise it, you think you have to buy it. I listen. I'm gonna even say this: boycott Black Friday unless it's something that you actually absolutely need. If you're gonna buy something for on Black Friday, whatever you buy has to elevate you. If you're gonna buy something on Black Friday, whatever you're buying has to elevate you. If it's a brand new computer to start your business, that makes sense. If it's a tablet to start your social media platform or whatever, and you're really, really, truly going to work at it, that makes sense. But if you're buying a TV, why? Why? If you're buying clothes, why? Some of y'all who are watching this should be buying books on Black Friday. Books on your field or the field you want to get into. Inspirational book, motivational book, inspiring book, like things that are going to elevate your mind. That's worth paying for. Right? So here's your starter plan. I personally believe going into 2026. Number one is emergency fund first. Number two is if you have a 401k at the job, right? Try to see if you can match whatever your employer is matching. So what do I mean? If your employer is matching up to 6%, okay, then you want to get into that program and you do up to 6%, right? You want to start to look at some IRA, some index funds, some stocks, okay, some cash value life insurance for long-term tax benefit and protection from the market. If you're not putting money away where your money is working for you, you're going to end up working for money. If you're not putting money away where money is working for you, you are going to end up working for money. Right? Another huge thing that I want to talk about going into 2026, because this year, the past 24 months has been months with, so I'm a insurance agent, okay, by profession, but I also do a lot of financial education, right? In the past 24 months, I don't seen people had some health issues. I don't seen people pass away without life insurance. I don't seen people fall sick and didn't have living benefits on long-term care, right? If you're watching this right now and you're going another year without any life insurance, you're gambling with your family. I had a young lady, this was the most heartbreaking thing for me so far, by far, in this industry, by far. It's a young lady who I've known for almost 30 years. And the last time I recently talked to her about life insurance, because I've talked to her dropping little nuggets, little drips every so often, trying not to put too much pressure on her, right? But the last time I talked to her about 2 years ago, talked about getting insurance on herself and the kids, and she didn't get it still. And the youngest daughter, who I believe was 22 or 23, just passed away without any life insurance. Now, I don't know about you if you're watching this. I can just imagine the pain of a parent losing a child. I don't know how you can function after that. But the bills still need to get paid. I always tell people this: life insurance is not about money. Life insurance is what it does is it buys you time to recover from the hurt and the pain. That's truly what it is. This is if you truly love a person, like if you love your spouse or your husband or your husband or wife, doesn't matter, and they pass away, and you have to now turn around because you have no savings, no investments, nothing. You can barely you have to put together a fish dinner or GoFundMe to bury that person. But that mortgage is still due, that condo is still due, the electricity is still due, the credit cards is still due, the kids' college or private school, they're in private school, is still due. All these things are still due. And you have to turn around and go to work the very next day just to survive. You don't have time to heal. That's truly what life insurance is. It buys you time to heal. You get the money, you put it in the bank account, you put everything in auto pay. You could possibly even take up a whole year and get a chance to go through therapy and healing and stuff like that. Right? Right? And I know what I'm talking about because when my brother died, I used to go to work and they'll send me home because I was just not balanced. I was not there mentally. I was straight. I couldn't focus. Things was going wrong at work. This, I hey, listen, it was a blessing because the job I had, they said, hey, you know what? Just go home. You take 3 months off, and we'll pay you. Whatever like that. Come back in 3 months, and we'll talk about how you can pay the money back. Not too many people have a boss like that. I'm sorry. That was just a lucky break, right? And that was my brother. We never want to talk about a child or a spouse that you are in love with. And people are walking around here without life insurance. In 2025, Life insurance is not about death. We're in 2025. We can't keep having this thought process about life insurance. It's not about that. It's about not destroying your family financially. It's a young lady in Vienna, Virginia, a few years ago. I sat down with her and her husband. The husband is some kind of electrical engineer, making great money, like almost 300K a year. So with that being said, they got the big old house out there in Vienna, Virginia. The wife is a nurse. I think she clocked in roughly about 90 a year, somewhere around there. Okay. 2 children in private school. That house is about 5 or 6 grand a month. Okay. Fancy cars outside. I sat down with him about doing some insurance. Husband said, "Oh no, I don't need it. We're good, blah, 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 whatever." Okay. He had insurance at the job. I think he had probably maybe like 100 and some K. The man passed away in less than 8 months. That house fell into foreclosure. Because their average monthly expense is about 15 to 18 grand a month. That's their average monthly expense. In less than 8 months, that house fell into foreclosure. The wife couldn't afford to maintain it. If your family would need a GoFund if you die, you don't have life insurance, you have a liability situation. Life insurance is probably the cheapest bill you will have. It's cheaper than your car note, it's cheaper than your auto insurance, it's cheaper than your cable bill, it's cheaper than all your apps that you have on your TV, it's cheaper than your mortgage or your rent, it's cheaper than most people's cell phone bills. But that's the one thing people don't have. I don't understand it. Like I said, we're gonna dive into finances today. We're gonna get at it today, right? There's different type of life insurance. There's term life, there's strictly income replacement. You pass away, they pay you based on whatever your income is times 10, right? And living benefits is another side that I want to talk about. Because again, you have people who again walking around here without life insurance, but also don't have long-term care either. So now, forget them passing away. If they fall sick, now they're financially destroyed. I have an agent right now who I spoke with the mom almost 10 years ago about getting a policy with living benefits, and they didn't want it. Fast forward almost 10 years later, the husband or my agent's father is now going through a health situation, right? And now the mother's telling me, I wish I would have gotten that plan. This is her having a conversation with me because now she has to leave work early to take care of the husband because she don't have the money to pay for a nurse aide to take care of him. And that's what the long-term care will do. Then you have cash value life insurance, which is more so a plan that's structured for your long term, for your retirement, right? Right. If you're watching this right now, right, I want you to type yes if you have life insurance. I want you to type yes if you have life insurance. And I also want you to type no if you don't have it and the reason why you don't have it, whether you think it costs too much, whether you don't know what type to get. It's plenty of reason why people don't get it. A lot of it is understanding. Okay. And also, I want you to type not sure if you've been avoiding the truth, which means that you've been avoiding talking about this because you don't want to talk about it. Right? I want to go a little bit into retirement because I'm gonna close out in a few because I know we've had a long day, Thanksgiving, everybody spend time with the family. So I don't want this to be too long, right? One of the biggest retirement plan right now that's catching some massive steam is annuities. Annuities have had record sales for the past 3 or 4 years in a row. 2024 was the most annuities sold in American history. $436 billion worth of annuities, right? Annuities is not technically an investment. They are an income tool. What do I mean? The benefit of an annuity is this. It'll allow you to put your money somewhere. And that the place where you put the money, the financial institution where you put the money, will guarantee your income for the rest of your life. A lot of people love annuities, especially people who didn't save enough money for retirement. Because what it does is you put the money in there, it will calculate a certain dollar amount that they're going to pay you every single month. And then that money, you get it until you die. Even after the money you put in has been depleted. You understand? So let's say, for example, you put in $200,000 into an annuity. You're 60 years old. Let's say your longevity was factored in at 75, but you end up living to 100. They will still continue to pay you until you die. This is one of the reasons why people love annuity. It's also a way to safeguard your money from any kind of like market loss or market collapse. Right? Okay. So if you're watching this and you don't have any, so for example, let's say you're self-employed. Let's say you're a business owner, right? Or let's say you're anyone who's nearing retirement and you're trying to figure out what to do with the money that you've saved. An annuity will be a great vehicle for you. And if you're watching this, right, and you're interested in anything I just talked about today, whether it's life insurance, whether it's cash value insurance, whether it's long-term care or living benefits, whether it's annuities, feel free to text me at 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Right? Or you can email me at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. That's evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. Right? Just message me and we can connect from there and we try to figure out exactly, what it is that you're looking for. But annuity right now is hot. And for plenty of reason. Since 2008, Americans have been losing a significant amount of money in their 401k. As a matter of fact, when the market crashed in 2008, a lot of people still haven't recovered from that. A lot of people still haven't recovered from 2008 market crash. So they're looking at an annuity as a saving grace. I put whatever I have in here, I can retire, and they'll guarantee me your income for the rest of my life. So I could supplement the annuity with my Social Security, for example, right? So I'm getting something from Social Security and I'm getting something from an annuity, okay? And again, Social Security will last you all the way till you die, but annuity, but Social Security is a small amount, just so you guys know, okay? So you have to look that up. You guys can actually go to ssa.gov, right, and plug in your information, and he'll let you know how much you'll be entitled to for Social Security when you retire based on age 60, 62, 66, and I believe 71. It will let you know exactly how much you are entitled to. But the annuity also, and Social Security also, just so you guys know, okay, is a form of an annuity, okay, because it comes out your paycheck, right? You pay it every single month or whatever like that, right? I mean, every single paycheck, and then when you retire, it will pay you all the way till you pass away, okay? But the kind of annuity that I'm talking about is what's called a fixed index annuity. Is a fixed index annuity, right? It'll allow you to make money. So the money you deposit is growing for you. It's compounding interest. Then once you start to take out income stream, they now calculate it and give you a certain dollar every single month. And that's what you get every single month until you die, even if you live longer than expected, right? Retirement is not a savings plan, it is an income plan. I want you guys to understand that. Anybody can retire any given time if they have the money. Retirement is also not an age thing. Retirement is a money thing. If you're watching this right now, I want you guys to type in the chat. If you won the lottery today for $5 million, will you retire or will you keep working? Most people are going to say they're going to retire. Or at least they're not going to keep working the same job that they have. Right? 64% of Americans are more afraid of running out of money than dying. Isn't that crazy? 64% of Americans are more afraid of running out of money than actually dying. And let me backtrack for a second because I don't want to confuse people, right? Okay. Social Security is not a true retirement in a way. It's meant to be a supplement to whatever else you have going on. Okay. I just want to touch on that because I didn't want to confuse somebody and somebody say, oh, well, he says Social Security is a retirement. No, it's not. It's just a supplement to whatever else that you have going on. You understand? Okay. If you don't fund retirement yourself, you will work longer than your body wants to. And this is important because, I've sat down with some people that say, oh, I'm going to work forever. And I'm looking at them like, your mouth is saying that, right? Your heart is saying that, your mind is saying that, but if your body tells you, no, we're not going to do it, then what you going to do? I've literally sat down with people who have told me that they don't need a retirement plan because they're going to work forever. You know what I'm saying? And I call this ignorance. You understand? Because to me, your body ages. You're not fit to be 70, 80 years old still working. You understand? And that's if somebody even hire you to work at that age. Old age without money, and don't nobody get mad at me for saying this, right? But again, I want to open some eyes today. Old age without money is simply poverty with wrinkles. Old age without money is poverty with wrinkles, right? And as we're wrapping up, Three things I want you to focus on tonight, going into December and going into 2026 is number one is debt. Taming that debt. You gotta figure out a way to tame that debt. You gotta put a plan together. Let's say you have, I don't know, 10, let's say you have a total $10,000 credit cards. You gotta figure out a way by June of 2026 to pay that off and get rid of it and just be done with it and cut them up and live off of cash, which means all I have is all I have. If I don't have the money, I'm just not doing it. A lot of people are planning trips on credit card. A lot of people are going on these trips on credit card. Or what do they have now? Was it Klarna, whatever that pay as you, I don't where you pay a certain amount or whatever. Like this is listen. I think we're in an environment where we just love to stay in debt. If you don't have it, you just can't do it. Or else you're gonna be on that hamster wheel. You're gonna look up, you're in your 30s. Now your 40s are gone by. Now your 50s are gone by. Now you're 60 and you have nothing. Because you stayed on that hamster wheel. You stayed on that hamster wheel instead of jumping off. This live stream today is supposed to allow you to jump off that hamster wheel. This education you're getting today is supposed to allow you to jump off that hamster wheel and say, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? It's supposed to allow you to say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want the credit cards anymore. I want to get rid of this car notes. I want to figure out a way to pay my house off 15 years early. You understand? Or else you will forever be in debt. This is all a disciplined decision. Why do I say a disciplined decision? Number one, it has to be a decision. You got to decide that you don't want to do this anymore. And then you got to stick to it. That's the discipline side. And I know it's very hard because we live in this environment of social media where you get on IG and all your friends and mama are on a yacht somewhere with their bikinis on and living their life. And you feel like God has forsaken you. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's all an illusion. It's not real. 90+% of those people are living or having the same struggle that you're having or even worse. Right? Last but not least, I want you to start to figure out a way to start building your wealth. I want you to sit down with somebody, not your neighbor, not your cousin, not your mama, not your auntie, not your uncle, not your co-worker, right? I want you to sit down with an advisor. And again, this is what I do for a living. So if you're interested in learning more, I've been doing this now for 17 years with over 3,000 clients on the books, right? If you want to learn more about retirement planning, safety, taxes, asset protection, life insurance, annuity, long-term care, message me at 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can email me at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. That's evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. Listen, you have to get to a point where you say to yourself, enough is enough. You have to get to a point where you look at your financial balance, your financial statement, and say to yourself, enough is enough. Stop playing, stop playing yourself, stop playing the illusion game, right? Stop pretending like things are great when they're not. Some of y'all need an awakening. Some of y'all need to pull up on your retirement statement right now and look at it and just do the math and say, hey, I'm 45 years old. I'm 50 years old. I want to retire at 65. Based on what I have right now, what is the likelihood of me retiring at the pace that I'm going right now, doing the things that I'm doing right now? Some of you guys need a wake up call. I don't know how many clients I've dealt with this year who are almost 60 and don't have any retirement plan. And when I ask them, hey, why didn't you do anything all this time? And the only answer that they'll give me is, give me a second, guys. The only answer that they've ever given me is, I always say to myself, I'll get to it. And I got busy. And I got busy. And I never got to it. Don't do that to yourself. It is so much harder to get or to start to plan. If you're 60 and you want to retire at 69, you have to put up so much more money every single month than a person who is 25, 30 years old, or 40. Or average person who is 60 and want to retire at 69 and they just want just even $500,000 probably have to do close to $3,500 a month in savings. You don't want to put yourself in that position. If you don't change now, January will not save you. I have this saying that I say to people all the time, and I say to, especially to my agents, right, as I'm training them, right? I say, hey, listen, for life to change for you, you have to change. Nothing changes for you until you change. Hope is not a strategy. Prayer is not a strategy. Prayer is a supplement to your action. What do I mean? You can pray to God all day, but God don't move until you move. That's something that a lot of people do not understand. Most blessed people are blessed because they took action and God pushed them the rest of the way. As we closing out, I want you to type in plan if you are committing to a change. If you are committing to a change for 2026, I want you to type in plan. As I'm wrapping up, I want you guys to understand this. 2026 is around the corner. You're either going to be ready or you're going to regret it because it's going to be another year like this one. Hey guys, listen, thanks to you guys for joining on my live today. I appreciate you all taking time out from your family just to hear me talk. I hope it was helpful to quite a few of y'all. Again, if you need me, hey, text me is the best way to reach me, or email me. You guys have a wonderful and glorious rest of your weekend. Talk to y'all soon.